Welcome back to Turffontein for the transparency that we referred to earlier on. I've got Thulani Kanyeli with me. He's going to explain exactly what process was entered into. And you might think you've got a difficult job. I've got the worst job because people expect me to grill you on the outcome. That is, nothing could be further from the truth. This is about explaining exactly how you guys arrived at the conclusion, how the actual objection manifested itself, and exactly how the consistency of various other objections is affected. Because people are going to say this objection, that objection, whether it's relevant or not, you're going to explain to us now. Thulani, so when the horses returned to the winner's enclosure after race one, what was the first time you became aware that there was an element of unhappiness regarding the outcome of the race?
Okay, first and foremost, I'm here to deal with the objection itself, not other matters which led to that. I'll firstly state that after the running of race one, the connection of the second placed horse, which was Nordic Storm, lodged a race review pertaining the start and the closing stages of the race, and then we looked at those, we reviewed those, and then they further decided the jockey, which in this case was Carl Zegner, decided to lodge an objection, and then the objection processes started.
Okay, so we've got on the screen right now, we can see those unmistakable Franfuran colours in the orange, and of course the or the late Ben Buerta's colours on the left-hand side with the white, yellow, and red. So there's, at this moment in time, explain to us what's happening.
Okay, the objection was on two incidences. Firstly, at the start, and then at the closing stages as they leave the 300. At the start, shortly after the start, Nordic Star became unbalanced and clipped the heels of Carrera Viking,
Yeah.
which eventually became a winner as Carrera Viking jumped in. And as that incident happened, Nordic Star lost momentum. We take that into consideration as well. But the key factor happened where at the closing stages of the race, at approximately the 300 meter mark, that's where the key factor that we looked at mostly. Okay, I will take you through what happened from the top of the straight. From the top of the straight, you can see that Nordic Star was almost 2 lengths behind the winner,
Yeah.
which is Carrera Viking.
Ferrari Viking, yeah.
And he was gaining grounds. As they approached the 300 on the winner's hindquarters, the winner, which was ridden by Sherman Brown, shifted in away from the crop, resulting in Nordic Star to steady for a number of strides, and he had to switch out to continue his run. As that incident happened, the distance between, as he lost momentum, the distance between him and the winner, between Carl Zegner's horse and the winner, was about 2.5 lengths. And then he gathered his horse, and then his horse was finding, and he was progressing. As he progressed, he was beaten by 1.1 length at the finish line, which is just a length at the finish line, and then we considered it. We look at
but the jockey's got his stick in his right hand, and he's run towards the rail, so he hasn't run away from the crop.
I'm just here to deal with the objection, not your questions. So I'm dealing with how we came to the decision. So.
But surely I'm not a machine. I'm allowed to ask questions because I've seen what I've seen.
Let me tell you what happened. How do we apply our mind? How did we get to the decision? Our question is: but for the interference, would the aggressor have won the race? But for the interference, would they have the second placed horse won the race?
Do you believe that? Do you believe the horse would have won the race?
Can I please allow me to finish my statement, sir, please, with all due respect, because I'm here to explain to the public what transpired. Okay, we asked our question: we are also human beings. We are also looking at races using our opinion and discretion and the training that we are given. Okay. We said, but for interference, would have Nordic Star beaten
Ferrari Falcon.
Viking.
Viking, sorry.
And for the explanation that I gave you, as the interference happened, Nordic Star lost momentum and was 2.5 lengths behind the winner. And then they gained ground and he was beaten 1.5. That was the most factor that we looked. That's what we considered at the end.
Okay.
Then we decided that the results should be upheld, and then hence new results.
But you're saying that there were 2 counts over here. One was interference when they jumped out the starting stalls, which you told me in the boardroom was not considered. It was not a mitigating circumstance. Is that correct?
No. We considered it, but it was not that
relevant.
Yes.
Okay,
we did
right.
consider
So
it.
only the second part of
we
the...
consider each and every complaint that the connection can get, or as well as the member of public. If the member of public has any consent, we also consider any consent. We look at it in our abilities to make sure that no one is aggrieved. But unfortunately, in this matter, whatever decision that we make, there will be a part that is aggrieved. That
No,
is
of
very
course.
unfortunate part.
But the bottom line is that if you've got the rail and you're an experienced racehorse, you're not going to give up the rail for something to come through on your inside. And therefore, the jockey, Carl Zechner, on the first timer, should obviously look for clear running room. Surely he cannot be aggrieved the fact that his running was taken up on the rail, because it's suicide to go down the rail, surely.
That's our opinion, sir.
Okay. So you believe that in actual fact, that if the horse had not suffered that interference, that the second place horse would have beaten the first place horse?
That's why we changed the result. And I must note that it was a split decision. It was not an anonymous decision. It was a split decision. So I want to note that as well.
Well, all I can say is that we're not here to play judge or jury. We're very grateful that you've had the decency and the forthright transparency to come and explain to us, because it puts people's minds at ease that you applied your mind, that you gave that decision. Whether they agree or not is a completely separate issue.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much indeed to Tolani for availing us of his presence here. Horses on the parade ring. For